Cheers to Christmas. Let's be together this twin flame Christmas. And we're going to see what the Christmas message is for you. And I selected some oracle cards decks, and we're going to look at the messages while we go deeper and do some inner work together. I feel that this twin flame Christmas is really going to be the beautiful opportunity that you desire to understand that you are the light that you are looking for, and to have that light be reborn inside of yourself. It's an opportunity to give that to yourself. Whether you take time for it alone or together, whether you just feel it in your heart as a desire, and it will just manifest itself in whichever form. How about that? You, as the person in which the light is being reborn, and you commit to that light. It's the light of truth. It's the light of love. It's the light of being together with the light in the first place. And then who knows with whom you're going to also be together. And in the light of truth, there's only one thing that must happen, and that is that you are first together with the divine, and in the second place with your true twin flame. This must happen. And it only all happens because you are there, because you are allowing the light to be born inside of you. And I think that has also a lot to do with a central question that I felt for this being together in inner work for Twin Flame Christmas, and that is that what is this twin flame relationship actually? Because I think there's a big misconception out there what it really is. Many people might think that it is this personal love relationship, but then with the coolest person in the universe. And they start to do all these actions that they do with their love life in the personal sense. And then they get stuck. And now what? What to do? Oh, apparently we can do some inner work to make that work out better. Yes, but doing that inner work will actually, when you do that over and over and over, make you realize that you're going to reconnect with an entirely different level of relating and loving and being in a relationship, in a love relationship, than you ever thought before. And during that process of replacing that connection with your personal love and reconnecting it to this other kind of loving, the other kind of being with, the other kind of being in the light of the divine with other people. And the further you go in that process, the more you understand that what you before lived as your personal love relationships was actually not that. And you are uncovering that this new sense of relating that connects directly to the light of truth is actually the one and only true romantic relationship that exists. The other thing wasn't that. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't about love even. It was about wanting and about getting, and it was about, I don't know, a shared fantasy of having beautiful times and being something great towards the other person that is not sustainable because it was only connected to a more shallow part of you and not yet fully connected back to the completeness of what you are. And when you start to connect with that completeness of what you are, you will see that your connection with the divine is there, and the connection with your true twin flame is naturally there. And you will see that you will be revealed what a true romance actually is about. And you will start to understand that the personal relationship that you had before was really not that what you thought it was. And it starts to dissipate, it starts to disappear. And it disappears eventually to completion. But it only disappears to be revealed to you what actually is the divine romance that is here for you now in the light of truth. And this is really hard to bring across in a video with me talking. It is hard to bring across in any sort of way, because it's an experience that you will be having when you decide to have this deeper love in your life, and you will allow yourself to be guided to go there. And yes, there is a definitive moment in this process that I call harmonious twin flame union. And this is a consciousness state that will click in with you, in which everything will be clarified in principle. And then after that, you will start to work that out. So there's a whole part of the journey going to that moment, and then something definitively transforms, and you have a whole beautiful journey afterwards too. That is the thing that you are wanting when you are speaking about the twin flame, even when you don't necessarily realize this. I think that is a lesser known fact. I think it is a big misconception that is hard to wipe out of your head, that it is not about, for instance, also seeing me having romantic outings with my twin flame, and then you would be all happy about that, or angry, whatever you feel about that, in itself, because it is about reaching the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, and that will be the thing for you that makes it all happen for you. You see? The fact that I am building my physical life in a certain rhythm that is fit for us doesn't take away from the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union that it's all about and that I can teach you. And I know that's different than you thought. This whole journey is about it's different than you thought. It's a revelation of your true romantic love in the light of truth. And I promise you that it will be exactly this beautiful romance with this beautiful relationship inside of it too, with beautiful outings and romantic dinners, of course. But first, let's go deeper. Because then you will get to the place where it will be revealed to you what that is. And you go deeper with it, ever deeper. And when you commit to go ever deeper, guided by the light of truth, then you will guarantee yourself that it will work out for you. So let's start this Twin Flame Christmas to get this new understanding. And let the light be reborn inside of you. So I got my first oracle card already when I pre-shuffled a little bit these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oracle decks. And here it is. Well, it's Dutch, so I will read it for you while translating it. I mean, I will translate it for you while reading it. The only thing that is being suspect to dying in your life is your ego. And that is indeed what will happen. That is the difference between your personal relationship, how you thought that was needing to be organized and done and executed with the best intentions. And the deeper thing that is harmonious twin flame union and the true divine romance that is being revealed to you there, the ego is the difference. It will be your ego that will be dying, or in other words, be revealed as that it never existed, or in other words, going back to its place inside of your energy body where it collaborates with you instead of being a separate force running around like a headless chicken. So I think that brought a lot of clarity. That was the spiritual messages oracle deck. And I think we're going to have a message from the Isis deck. I love that. It's so beautiful to see always that the Egyptian cultural symbols of the past are, I'm seeing this one, right? That's how it works. I'm just getting what I see. Are so intimately intertwined with more present day Western symbols and also symbols of actually all over the world. I mean, all over the world, in every culture, they have symbols for the same things because we are spiritually seen an organic whole. We're an organic thing that can develop itself. And in that, being that and that development, there are certain points of recognition on the journey. And the symbols of that might exist in all cultures, and they might look similar in very many cultures. And it's very interesting when you start to see that, you know, that certain forms return everywhere. Like the dot in the circle, what about that? I have it in my Creative Universe logo. You'll find it everywhere. It's the self in divine light. And this is also that Horus. Horus is the symbol of the higher self. There you go. Son of Isis and Osiris, which is the twin flame. Feel the unity in your opened heart. A new time with higher consciousness is starting. Meditational idea. Ask your higher consciousness to melt with your body. Well, I think that's a good idea. Let's do that together. Let's take a moment. Maybe you want to close your eyes and just be exactly how you are and where you are. Although it would be beneficial if you would sit down for a moment. And just feel the breath. And how it touches your body. How it touches your chest, how it touches your belly. How the breath touches your shoulders. And your whole body is actually being moved by the breath. This eternal movement that rolls through you. And it's very centralizing to feel this rhythm. And as much as it touches every part of your body and makes it very subtly move, it is also bringing you back to that area naturally that is the heart space. Because that's where the breath is very much sourced from that space. That's where its central axis is. And maybe you want to give that space in your chest, in your lungs, some attention right now, just to feel that it exists. And become aware of the subtlety in it. Is the breath the only thing that there is there? Or is there more present in the heart? Is there a subtle quality, more subtle than the breath, that makes itself known to you in the heart space? That is just present there, out of nowhere, as unconditional love. How did it come there? And although you don't need to change anything in your body, maybe from feeling this, you do feel like you want to make very subtle changes in how you're sitting to sit more relaxed, and that's totally fine. This is not a meditation in which we are restricted, but a meditation in which we become free. We're free to feel the breath while we sit with our body. We're free to become aware that there is something more subtle in the heart space present, just like that. It magically appeared out of nothing. And let's give that unconditional love, subtle energy in the heart free to go wherever it wants and needs to go, to mix with our entire body, with our belly, with our legs, with our feet, with our shoulders, with our arms, with our hands, with our neck, with our skull, with our head, with our brains, with our face, our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our ears, our throat. It's just allowed to go to all those places. And take a little deeper breath if that feels good to you. Giving it free again. This unconditional love, this subtle energy, can go anywhere, in and around your body, where it wants to go and where it is needed. Take a deeper breath if that feels good to you. To emphasize that you give it free now. And be the witness of subtle changes in all kinds of fields of your body. In your face, in your brain, in your head, in your throat, in your neck, in your shoulders, in your arms, in your hands, in your chest, in your belly, in your hip area, in your genitals, in your legs, in your knees, in your lower legs, in your feet and in your toes, in all your organs inside of you, and in the energy space right around you too, and underneath you and above you. And wherever this subtle energy is wanted and needed and desires to go by itself, you just allow that to happen right now. And we're the witness of what that does. You take a little deeper breath if that feels good to you. And no matter how small the small changes are that you might feel, this is the drop of unconditional love that does it all for you. Trust that. This is you lighting up your energy space so that you can become the light in this twin flame Christmas. To then breathe a little deeper, maybe place both of your hands very gently and slowly on your chest to give a gesture of thankfulness to yourself for this small meditation and that you have felt some things. To thank yourself for feeling all of that. And take a little deeper breath again and maybe put your arms back on your legs or wherever they are comfortable, and very, very slowly and gently open your eyes again to become aware that we were actually in a video together. Thank you, Horus, son of Isis and Osiris, symbol for the higher self, with the idea to meld this higher consciousness with your body. This Twin Flame Christmas, we're going to repeat the Halloween cards that were the vampire cards, because I loved them so much. They really worked out for me. I just got them for our past Halloween readings that we did and stuff. And we have the card of ecstasy. Let me translate the rest. Yeah, being in ecstasy, getting a blessing, completely surrendering into that feeling. That's what it says. I think they're very interesting green butterflies. What about that? Green is like this color of intoxication, almost like, you know? Not sure if green butterflies really exist in nature, but that doesn't matter, of course. It's a drawing. She herself also has wings, the girl. Very sweet. So, yeah, we can have an intoxication feeling of allowing ourselves, our body, to be intoxicated by the subtle energy of the higher self, of the unconditional love, of the inner light. And when you put it like that, it almost sounds like a bad thing, which is some sort of funny. But these are, it's a funny deck. And it can be good sometimes to surrender into this light of truth. Even when our ego, from the first card, might be afraid that it is negatively intoxicating. But that's not so. How about that? What seems bad to the ego is right for divine love, the divine romance with your true twin flame. You see, and that's how you start to see that we're really talking about something else, and it's different, and you didn't know that. So this relationship in the union is different than you thought what it was, in the ego sense, in the personality sense, in the let me organize a great conscious relationship. Because it's not you that organizes it, you see. It's the divine that orchestrates it, if you will. It is you that falls into it in ecstasy. And the ego is afraid to be overtaken. The ego is afraid to surrender. So it holds you back from that which you actually have indicated that you want by being on the twin flame journey. Isn't that interesting? It's a saboteur inside yourself. And yes, you often see it outside of yourself. You see the enemy in them or in anyone else. But the true enemy is in you. And in the divine light, it doesn't exist. Or it gets reintegrated into yourself so that the saboteur turns around and transforms into an ally. We've actually seen that for the people that participated in the Energy is Money game earlier this month. That we've looked into the saboteur for your abundance mindset. And this is the saboteur for your love mindset. So, and now we're going to look inside the Mary Magdalene Oracle deck. Oh, I thought it looked as though I saw something already. I think I should. Well, okay, I guess then. Ooh, the family tree. So I think this is a good question always with the holidays to think about what is family, because it's so family oriented traditionally for so many people. But what is your family? For some people, their blood family is not truly acting as their family. They're more acting like the saboteurs. But do you then have family? Well, you can have a chosen family that is chosen out of people that are not saboteurs to you, but that connect to your deeper romance story in divine light. People that connect there. Well, that would be very helpful, and certainly not a saboteur's chosen family, right? And there's an even deeper layer of family, because we are all twin flames at that deeper level that is often not really perceivable for many people. And that means that you are, on the spirit level, a unit consisting of your spirit parts. And for the very, 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 very most people, that's two parts that are actually also in the flesh, level of life attracted to each other naturally. But as that, you actually are created also with more pairs of spirit parts as a unit in a circle, let's say. And all these pairs that your circle consists of is your soul family. And that is the true definition and word soul family, when you're truly created in this group together with unions. Soul family is a word that is often used for people that you like your tribe, because we're friends. And I hope they're connected to that deeper, connected to union level of the divine romance that you desire. And I understand the use of that word, but there is also a deeper truth of that it exists, your soul family, as something on the creation level. Now, maybe you are in the beautiful position to meet one or more members of your soul family, or one or more unions belonging to your soul family tree. That's beautiful. I have met soul family members, soul family unions, and that was an experience of true friendship that I will never forget. So that brings some emotions to the forefront. And if you're watching, you know who you are, and I love you very much. This can happen to you too on the twin flame journey, when you re-anchor yourself in the deeper romance. So many things can happen that have a new quality to you, and they can be like overwhelming. But the more you anchor yourself in that new layer, the more, in a sense, normal it becomes. Because you're going to live there, you know. If you want to live with your true twin flame, then you're going to live there, you understand. You move there. It will be your hometown. And you start to understand that you have a soul right to all these beautiful experiences of love that are there for you. And you know that they will always come through at the right time for uniquely you to experience that. So I have this feeling that we need to open the A Course in Miracles book. So let's do that. Oh, see, we still have this. This was fun. I still had this opened up. Justice, Return to Love. Over last weekend, I had a beautiful meeting with a student and friend in which we studied that chapter. It was a study day with Divine Mother. So who knows, when you come closer to my work, we could have more study days with Divine Mother, with you attending as well. These are very sacred, divinely led happenings that will make you experience something. But of course, I'll be organizing also that more informal ways as well. We already do. Lesson 25. I do not know what anything is for. Purpose is meaning. Today's idea explains why nothing you see means anything. You do not know what it is for. Therefore, it is meaningless to you. Everything is for your own best interest. That is what it is for. That is its purpose. That is what it means. It is in recognizing this that your goals become unified. It is in recognizing this that what you see is given meaning. You perceive the world and everything in its as meaningful in terms of ego goals. These goals have nothing to do with your own best interests, because the ego is not you. This false identification makes you incapable of understanding what anything is for. As a result, you are bound to misuse it. When you believe this, you will try to withdraw the goals you have assigned to the world, instead of attempting to reinforce them. Another way of describing the goals you now perceive is to say that they are all concerned with personal interests. Since you have no personal interests, your goals are really concerned with nothing. In cherishing them, therefore, you have no goals at all, and thus you do not know what anything is for. Before you can make any sense out of the exercises for today, one more thought is necessary. At the most superficial levels, you do not recognize purpose. Yet purpose cannot be understood at these levels. For example, you do understand that the telephone is for the purpose of talking to someone who is not physically in your immediate vicinity. What you do not understand is what you want to reach him for. And it is this that makes your contact with him meaningful or not. It is crucial to your learning to be willing to give up the goals you have established for everything. The recognition that they are meaningless rather than good or bad is the only way to accomplish this. The idea for today is a step in this direction. 6 practice periods, each of 2 minutes duration, are required. Each practice period should begin with a slow repetition of the idea for today, followed by looking about you and letting your glance rest on whatever happens to catch your eye, near or far, important or unimportant, human or non-human. With your eyes resting on each subject you select. Say, for example, I do not know what this chair is for. I do not know what this pencil is for. I do not know what this hand is for. Say this quite slowly, without shifting your eyes from the subject, until you have completed the statement about it. Then move on to the next subject and apply today's idea as before. So I think that was perfect for what we're talking about. The ego doesn't understand what this relationship is for. The ego doesn't understand what your twin flame is for. The ego doesn't understand what relating with God is for. The ego doesn't understand anything about it. And it may take what the twin flame does or says to you as an insult, while in fact you do not know what it is for. And you might find out what it is for if you first give up your ideas in your ego about it and then feel what it is to you. And you might find, I actually guarantee this to you, especially when you do that together with the key tool consisting of 4 steps, that is the central twin flame healing work that I share in some of my videos and that you are invited to practice in our Facebook group called Your Abundance. You might find, I guarantee you that your twin flame has actually given you a gift that means you're going to love yourself more. And at the end of that little process of you loving yourself deeper, you'll end up on the other end of where this whole talk is talking about, and that is the divine romance relationship level inside of you. And then you are so surrendered to the unconditional love in your heart, in your existence, that you finally understood the purpose of what was happening to bring you to this deeper level of divine love. And we're now going to get a card from the personal messages deck. Which jealousy is behind the judgment that I have inside myself and like to keep? It's Dutch, I translated it for you. Which jealousy is behind the judgment that I love to keep close to my heart? Right, the ego is the one that judges all the time and does not know what anything is for. That's what we just read in lesson 25 of A Course in Miracles. And when you have a judgment about all these things that happen in your life and about your twin flame, about other people, you have forgotten that you don't understand what anything is for. And you might even be jealous. Yeah, who knows? Which is nonsense, because that is how the ego relates. The ego that doesn't know what anything is for, and when you let that go, you fall back into the divine layer inside of yourself. Yeah. So, what am I feeling? I think I'm feeling that we need something more. I'm going to get that from another card deck. The Angel Answers. Ooh, well, that fell on the floor. So we're going to take that one. And I'm also going to... Then I'm going to need to pick it up. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Don't stop. So whatever happens and whatever you think is holding you back from progressing, don't stop. Understand that you don't understand what anything is for. Understand that the ego can't come in union, certainly not harmonious union, and certainly not maintain it. Don't stop. You can move further with doing the inner work. Don't stop. Allow yourself to discover the inner light this Twin Flame Christmas. Take action. I love that horse. Take action. Do lesson 25 of A Course in Miracles. Start doing the key exercise consisting of 4 steps with input in step 1 that you throw into it, with everything that you come across, that you feel. Yeah, and when that can be called an action, allow yourself to feel this Twin Flame Christmas that you are birthing the light that you are looking for. And that's how you become a helpful person yourself. Truly helpful, because you have something to give now. And you're not giving because you actually desire to take, because you need. And by being in that attunement, you also attract helpful people to you, which form a new tribe for you, a new family. And that is the tribe and family that connects with your deeper layer of loving. And that is what you want to allow yourself to celebrate Christmas with. Wherever they are, if you feel them in your heart only, then that's certainly enough. And thus ends our inner work today for Twin Flame Christmas. Let's do some more Twin Flame Christmassy things the coming time, and also talk more about magic to let the miracle in. Because such an inner work also is done with magic tools such as cards. And it is to let the miracle in. Because a card on its own doesn't do that much. But it can be an opening so that you can let the miracle in. We're going to talk more about that, what that all is, and how you can become creative in that yourself too. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this time with you. Come to our Facebook group, Your Abundance, as well, because there will be beautiful in-person events there that you can join, and much more. See you again real soon. Love from Petra.